I want to talk to the Trump supporting members of MAGA in regard to this whole Canada 51st state thing. Now, before we get into this, I think that anybody that critically thinks about this for longer than 30 seconds understands that Canada is never going to become a state in the United States. It's not going to become a territory. We're not going to invade and occupy it. This is all bluster for some reason. But I do want to talk about it because the people who support Donald Trump, the members of MAGA, are all on board with this. They're hell bent on trying to make this happen. When we talk to you guys about this, you guys really don't come up with any reasons why we should do this other than that Trump wants to do this. Some of you say, the resources that are available in this in the nation of Canada, what would be the state of Canada, would benefit the United States of America. Some of you have mentioned strategic reasons why we should occupy or absorb Canada, but really your reason is that Trump wants it, and so you want it. My question to you guys who are hardcore in favor of pushing Canada to become the 51st state is, have you guys thought about the political ramifications of doing so? Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I bet you haven't. If Canada were to become the 51st state in the United States of America, overnight they would become one of, if not the most liberal states in the nation. More so than California. You guys are trying to get rid of California while simultaneously trying to absorb another California. I want you to think about what the political ramifications would mean. The Canadians are extraordinarily liberal. Almost half of Canadians, 46%, think abortion should be legal under any circumstance, while just over a third, 35%, would allow the procedure only under certain circumstances. Fewer than 1 in 10 Canadians, 7%, believe abortion should be illegal. So you would be bringing on another pro-choice state. Majority of Canadians support stronger gun control measures. A survey finds that more than 70% of respondents support permanent ban on new handgun purchases and oppose civilians being allowed to own assault-style firearms. Canadians are largely satisfied with their universal health care system. 2/3, 66%, say they're satisfied with provincial health care system. And 7 in 10 agree that the system is too bureaucratic, but they like their health care. 89.9% of Canadians support or somewhat support universal health care. 79.9% of Canadians give their unqualified endorsement of universal health care. 86.2% of Canadians support strengthening public health care. Over 90% of Canadians view Canadian Medicare as a source of pride. 75% of Canadians back same-sex unions, 4 points above the global average. So you guys are openly advocating for a shit ton of extraordinarily liberal people to come into the United States of America and form what would be, I believe, the most liberal state in the Union if they became the 51st state. Now, if they became the 51st state, they would get 2 more senators. The Democratic Party would, because they would undoubtedly be liberal senators coming out of Canada. So you guys are openly advocating for the Democrats to gain 2 more liberal Senate seats. Now, the population of Canada, 40.1 million, extraordinarily similar to that of California, which means if we appropriated or we calculated for members of the House of Representatives for Canada the same way we do every other state, then the number of representatives in the House of Representatives would be somewhat similar to, if not slightly more liberal, than the makeup of the representatives from California. And as of right now, California is represented in the House of Representatives by 9 Republicans and 43 Democrats. So if Canada were to become the 51st state, you would be adding tens of millions of people who have extraordinarily liberal viewpoints, that want stronger gun restrictions, that are in support of same-sex marriage, that are in support of universal health care, that are pro-choice. You would give Democrats 2 additional senators when you only have a 3-seat majority in the House right now for Republicans. So that would cut the Republicans' majority down to 1 seat. And you would completely erase the 3-seat majority that they currently have in the House of Representatives and give Democrats a majority in the House of Representatives by probably over 40 seats. If Canada were to become the 51st state in the Union, there is a strong possibility that Republicans would not regain control of the federal government in this country for 50 to 100 years. So why are you guys advocating for this? I know that Donald Trump said he wants it, so therefore you have to say you want it, right? He says jump, you say how high. But have any of you thought about the political ramifications of this? Because the longer I look at the political ramifications of it, as much as I know Canada is never going to become a state, the more I sit back and go, well, maybe we should let Canada become the 51st state, because Democrats would control this country for the foreseeable future, for the rest of my life. You guys would never have the House of Representatives again. You just wouldn't. There's no way you could overcome that number. Sometimes you guys may or may not have the Senate, but it would still be an even bigger uphill climb for you if you did this. Just some food for thought for all of you guys and gals in the red hats going, yeah, Canada, hashtag 51st. Hashtag the end of Republican control, my friend.